tools like Gong and Chorus have really shaken up the sales industry, just in terms of putting information in the hands of sales leaders to be able to make better decisions on where they need to focus in order to improve the outcomes that their reps are generating, right? So what these tools do essentially is they analyze the conversations that your reps are having with prospects and then pull out interesting points, tag conversations, identify specific phrases or questions or terminology that might be occurring in those calls, and then uses that data to be able to surface insights to managers. The problem with these solutions is that they're fairly expensive, right? You might be looking at thousands of dollars per rep per month as a starting point. But there is a free alternative that you can try in your business in order to get the same kinds of insights, right? And it's as simple as making your contact stages and your call dispositions much more granular, right? So if we focus on the contact stages as a starting point, the way that most organizations categorize their prospects when they're trying to reach out to them is using contact stages. And these things are generally things like, new for prospects that haven't been reached out to yet, in sequence for someone that you're working to try to get a hold of, not interested, right? If you've got an objection that you weren't able to overcome, meeting booked, and then like nurture or follow up as an example, right? So there's only a handful of contact stages that most companies use in order to classify prospects and where they're at. We think that to get the insights that you're looking for from Gong and Chorus, one thing that you can do is just make these contact stages much more granular, right? And so you can include things like not interested reasons. So for example, at Sales Science, instead of just having one bucket for not interested, we have multiple buckets under that category, right? Things like not interested budget, not interested, not a priority, not interested, in-house solution, not interested, using a competitor. Right, so there's a bunch of things that you can do to put in place to get better insights as to where your reps are struggling or what objections they may be struggling to overcome. Right, and then you can also introduce things like, wrong person, right? So maybe the conversation resonated, but they're not the person that you need to start this conversation with. It needs to be someone else, right? And then you can either classify those further to be, wrong person, referral given, or wrong person, no referral. So down in the link below this, we've got a link to an article that breaks this down in more detail, if you're interested in looking at it, and gives you the full list of contact stages that we use here at Sales Science. The second thing that you need to do is make your call dispositions much more granular. So again, the way that most companies use these dispositions is to set it up with things like, left voicemail, no answer, connected, meeting booked, bad number or bad data, right? Again, we think you can make these much more granular in order to get better insights. So you can introduce things like, rejected intro, for example, right? So connected, rejected intro, connected, rejected problem statement, connected, rejected questions, connected, rejected close. And so by doing that, we know that we had a conversation, the person didn't convert, but we also know where in the cold call script that we're using that conversation fell over. So again, this is very helpful to be able to compare and contrast reps' performance, to be able to quickly identify calls that you may need to review and give feedback on, and just generally get better insights into what your reps are saying and how those calls are going without spending a ton of time trying to dig through all of the calls that may be marked with the disposition, connected. So again, link below this video, outlining this in more detail if you're interested in taking a look. Cheers.